During the road to recovery, all sorts of temptations are gonna come. Whether you like it or not, want it or not, believe it or not. Now, today's video was inspired by what just happened a moment ago. So here I am doing my laundry, getting the laundry done, taking it down to the laundry room, and just as I was about to put my load in the washer, I look to my side and I see in the garbage can tons of bottles of booze. Someone just threw it all away. 3 unopened bottles of wine, bottle of Bacardi, some rum, some tequila, the good and expensive stuff too, I might add. This is the kind of stuff that I would drink just because at some point. And although this is a very humiliating thing to admit, for a moment I was actually tempted to take it and drink it.
Well, that's great and all, Shogun, but whoop-de-darn-do, why are you telling us about this?
Well, I'm saying this because there's something that I need to admit, and I essentially am going to be swallowing my pride by saying this, realizing that not everything can be done alone. At least, that's the conclusion that I'm starting to come to. Now, some people question whether I'm actually self-actualized or not, and some question that I need external validation. And frankly, I don't care what they say, because I do not need someone else's validation. But I have found out that it is helpful when you have someone else close to you, or at least someone close to you, that motivates you when it comes to dealing with your addictions. If seeking each other's help, advice, and opinions, and comparing them to your own, if that means not being self-actualized, then so be it. Because I still believe it's good to have your thoughts challenged, have your mindset challenged, as well as find views that are contrary to your own. Because if there's one thing I hate about echo chambers, is that it tends to breed stagnation. Or at least that's my honest opinion. Now, for the vast majority of my life, I've always valued isolation and solitude. And in a way, I still do. But I realized that if I was the only person on Earth, who would be there to challenge me when I need a challenge the most? Okay, so I like to think of it this way. If you were immortal, what would you do? What would your purpose be? What exactly would you dedicate that eternity to? Personally, I would spend that eternity trying to learn all things that I possibly can. And in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that is to explore the universe. Because the universe, we don't know exactly how large it really is. We don't know if it's infinite, we don't know if it's finite, and we don't exactly know for sure how far we can travel. Yes, there's plenty of theories out there, but we don't know for sure until we can actually put that to the test. Now, can we? And I've said this to a few people on the Discord chat a few times, and I said that if this were to be the case for me, I would take 2 to 3 people with me. I'd take the smartest, brightest, and some of the most competent minds, so to speak. Of course, preferably people that I know and get along with, because I wouldn't just take some stranger with me into outer space. And the reason I say this is because of this. Because the universe is a seemingly endless challenge to explore, as well as understand and learn about. Second, when great minds stimulate each other, it's amazing what you can come up with and amazing what you can achieve also. And I honestly believe that there is a certain consciousness within myself that is most stimulated when there's somebody else around. And sometimes vice versa. So I would like a variety of both, if I can. Also, please feel free to challenge me on this because I am open to different perspectives and I'm open to being wrong. Hence why I actually make these videos in the first place, because I enjoy thought experiments. So, do you see what I'm getting at now? You see, it's meeting other people like TFM and other people on his Discord server that have actually been a very big help to me. Now, I like being around people that are smarter than me. And frankly, in my experience, I haven't exactly found a lot of people that are smarter than me. And I'm not saying that to be smug, but I'm serious. Because there's not a lot of people that are red-pilled with an IQ greater than 130. And more specifically, have grown beyond the red pill rage state. For instance, how many people can you say that you know have been coding since the age of 4 or 5, or have conceptualized the 4th and the 5th dimension and visualized it for yourself without anybody teaching you, as well as determining the visual capabilities of such a being that may live in such a dimension. Or even taking components from broken electronics, slapping them all together and building something completely new. That was me as a kid. And back then, I thought I was retarded. Now, I've been on TFM's Discord server for over 2 years now, and I've gotten a lot of good advice, and I've met a lot of bright people. And I'm not putting anyone on the spot, but I'm not the only one that says this. Some people have gotten help for their problems through tough love, and I'm going to give you an example as to how. On our Discord server, we have what's called the Thought Dimension. It's typically where people go when they just can't behave themselves on the server, and it's basically their last chance to redeem themselves before getting banned. Now, TFM has put people in the Thought Dimension because they couldn't get their stuff together. Not so much that they were acting out or misbehaving, but for instance, spending all day on Discord playing video games or whatever instead of getting a job or actually helping yourself or improving yourself. So he'll say, you go into that Thought Dimension and you stay isolated from the rest of us until you can get your act together. That's if you want to be able to converse with us again. And you know what? That has worked every time he's tried it. Not once did it fail. Or should I say, it didn't fail for those that wanted to be conversing with us. Now, he could have actually done that to me and said, that's it. Until you quit drinking, until you finally get yourself together, you're not going to be on the show, and you're not going to partake in the server's activities at all. And this is why I honestly believe it's a good idea to ask our fellow brethren for help, regardless of what other people will think, regardless of how you believe you're going to be shamed or whatever. Because if I cared about what everybody thought of me, both in the red and blue pill space, I would be dead. I've said it many times before, and I will say it again because it is true. So one thing that helps me stay sober is remembering my commitments. Now, I promised TFM that I would quit drinking for good, and that is exactly what I'm doing. Some people need someone close to them. Some people can commit to other people that they've never actually met, and I'm sure that there are those that don't actually need either. I'm not saying I actually need it, I'm just saying it actually helped, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. So once again, if it's ethical and it works for you, do it. Don't worry about what everyone else is going to say. Just do it, especially if it means bettering yourself and saving your own life, which not everybody seems to be willing to do these days. So that's it for this rant. I am finished. I will see you guys later. Bye.